She says, "You make that look easy." You laugh, thank her, and move on. It sounds like a compliment anyone could give. But then she says another one later, and this time the compliment tells you something about what she has been noticing. That is where men miss the shift. The words can stay innocent, while the attention behind them becomes personal. Here is when her innocent compliments stop being innocent. 1. You make everything look easy. You are fixing a reservation mix-up, carrying 3 plates to the table, or explaining something at work. Nothing heroic happens. You simply handle it and keep going. She says, "You make everything look easy." That sounds like praise for the task. Listen closer. She is not complimenting the reservation or the spreadsheet. She is telling you she watched how you moved through the problem. The attraction-coded part is the level of attention required to form the compliment. She noticed the calm between the actions. She registered what other people treated as background. A casual compliment describes the result. A personal one reveals the observer. She just told you she was paying attention to more than what got done. 2. You look better when you are not trying. Maybe you show up in an old shirt on a Saturday. Maybe your hair is less controlled than usual. You make a joke about looking rough, and she disagrees a little too quickly. "No, honestly, you look better like this." That sentence is more revealing than "you look nice." Nice can be social. This one compares versions of you. For her to have a preference, she has been taking mental notes. She knows what polished you looks like and what off-duty you looks like, and she has decided which version pulls her in more. She is not only giving you a compliment, she is admitting that your appearance has categories in her mind. 3. You are actually really easy to talk to. You are sitting after everyone else has drifted away. The conversation went from a stupid story about traffic to something more personal without either of you planning it. Then she looks at you and says, "You are actually really easy to talk to." The word "actually" does a lot of work. It tells you she had one expectation, and the experience of being with you changed it. Women do not only become attracted to the man who creates excitement. Sometimes the shift happens when talking to him feels unexpectedly private, easy, or safe enough that she notices herself saying more than she planned. The compliment sounds like it describes you. What it really reveals is what being around you does to her. These first 3 can still pass as friendly. The next ones get more interesting because the compliment starts carrying a comparison, a risk, or a little bit of confession. 4. You are not like most men I meet. There it is. She may say it after you disagree with her, calmly, after you remember something important, or after a conversation goes somewhere she did not expect. On the surface, it is vague. She has not even told you what category she put you in. But comparison means sorting. You are no longer being experienced as one man in the room. She has started placing you against other men she knows and noticing where you do not fit. An indifferent woman can think you are nice without reorganizing the category. Attraction often makes the difference feel worth naming. She is not saying every other man failed. She is telling you that you have become distinct enough in her mind to need your own description. 5. You should not be this good at that. You make her laugh at exactly the wrong moment. You cook something better than she expected. You remember a ridiculous detail from a conversation and bring it back perfectly. She smiles and says, "You should not be this good at that." Now, the compliment has a playful complaint inside it. That matters because attraction often sounds like resistance when a woman wants to acknowledge your effect without making a direct declaration. She praises you while pretending the praise is inconvenient. The subtext is not, "Please become worse." It is, "I did not expect you to keep giving me reasons to like this." The complaint is camouflage. The compliment is the part she meant. 6. Someone is going to be very lucky with you. Men hear this and immediately assume friend zone. Sometimes it is. Context decides everything. But notice when she says it. If the two of you have just shared a personal moment, she says it softly, and then leaves a strange little silence after the sentence. She may not be talking about some imaginary woman at all. She is placing you inside the role of partner material, while keeping herself safely outside the grammar. Someone lets her praise what it would be like to have you, without saying she has imagined being that someone. The sentence becomes charged when her face, timing, and attention say she is not really interested in discussing your future with a stranger. You may hear the same structure in smaller versions. Any woman would feel safe with you. You are going to make somebody very happy. She keeps placing an unnamed woman beside you while describing qualities she has personally experienced. The imaginary woman becomes a safe stand-in. She can talk about your value as a partner without admitting that she has already pictured the role from much closer than she sounds. What matters is not the prediction. It is how specifically she seems to know what being with you would feel like. 7. You are trouble. You have not caused any trouble. You teased her once. You caught the second meaning of something she said. Maybe you simply looked more put together than she expected that night. She smiles and says, "You are trouble." This is barely a criticism. It is attraction wearing a warning label. Women use language like this when a man creates a reaction we would rather describe indirectly. Calling you attractive would expose her. Calling you trouble lets her admit the effect, while pretending she is protecting herself from it. Watch the tone. Real disapproval creates distance. This kind of trouble usually arrives with warmth, amusement, and the feeling that she is enjoying the exact problem she just named. 8. You are really not what I expected. This is the deepest compliment because it admits there was a before and an after. Maybe she thought you would be intimidating, maybe too serious. Maybe she assumed the age difference, your job, or your quietness told her who you were. Then she got closer to the real version. When she says, "You are not what I expected," do not only hear surprise, hear the revision. You occupied enough of her attention to make her update the story she had about you. And if she says it with that small smile people use when the new answer is better than the old one, the compliment is doing more than being polite. She is telling you her opinion moved in your direction. That is the pattern. The compliment stops being innocent when it reveals how much she has been watching, comparing, remembering, or feeling. "You look nice" can disappear in 10 seconds. "You are not what I expected" tells you there has been an entire private update happening on her side. The words praise you. The hidden information is what they reveal about her. If you want the signals that come after the compliment, I broke down 25 of them in a guide called 25 Forbidden Signals She's Secretly Into You. The link is in the description. If you have reached this far, tell me which compliment you have heard before and completely misread in the comments.